this ground. So, you know, the Lord, he planted us, he gave us that faith like a mustard seed, and it starts off small, but it becomes the greatest tree. So we got to endure a whole plethora of trials before we get to that point, and we get that final glory when Yahweh Shah comes back and glorifies us like he is in Melchizedek.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 3. And I wrote to This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Right, so we don't war after the flesh. We move in the spirit, all right? Because the flesh is weak, it's limited. You can bench press, you can do this, you can do that, but ultimately, none of that's going to stop you from saying, basically, it's not going to stop you from rejecting the MOTB. Ultimately, it's how you were sown into the spirit and in this grace period. That's why, you know, the elders and the brothers are always exhorting us to make sure that we get our conduct on point. These are all internal things. There's certain things that's uncomfortable to your flesh, like a rebuke or just doing things you're not used to doing, like actually sacrificing, but the Lord wants you to do that. Because ultimately, even when we do these video epistles, that's a sacrifice that we take. We got to take time out from the plantation and everything else to actually make sure we correctly feeding the sheep and making sure that we're not hypocrites in the work that we're doing.
Verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
Right, and going back into that might, the main stronghold we got to take down is within ourselves. Because before we even come into the truth, we have to really believe what the Lord has, the men of the Lord preach. We have to actually believe that the name of the Father is Yahweh, His Son is Yahweh Shai, and who he actually came to save. And then some of the toughest part of it is he's not coming back to save everybody. Even some of our own relatives may not make it. And if we don't stay diligent, we might not make it.
Ephesians 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Right, and the main reason those wiles work so easily is because in this society, I've been seeing bros do like videos about this like for the past 2 weeks. Esau, he doesn't create men in Babylon, he creates basically effeminate males. You got men that don't know how to deny the flesh, men that can't take no for an answer, and ultimately men that can't give no when the Lord requires you to give no to the devil. So he's going to come with that deception of, oh, if you don't take this, you're not going to be able to eat. So the Spirit has to kick in and remind you that the Heavenly Father, he's been providing us with bread this entire time. Right now, no matter how good bros eat, we're eating defiled bread still, but the Lord said we're going to eat poison and live. So in those days, you know, we should be eager to rely on the miracles that the Lord's going to bring. We don't know how he's going to bless that food that we're going to eat like the manna in the wilderness. Right. So you see, that's all I have right there. Shalom.